Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to another episode of The Fishing Teacher, and thank you very much for making some time out of your day to spend with me and watching the video. Always very grateful for that. And guys, today, if you've been watching the videos I've done this past week, I've been talking about the versatility of different type of soft plastics, like other things that you can do with them besides the obvious. And today we're going to talk about the lizard, guys, because the lizard, there's a lot of ways to fish a lizard beyond the obvious. So I'm going to show you some of my favorite ways to do that. Also, guys, big thank you to everybody out there that has taken time to subscribe here to The Fishing Teacher. I really appreciate that, and also appreciate you guys using all my links that I'm putting in the description, like my tackle warehouse link if you need to order tackle. That's been a really good way to help us to support the channel here. So thank you very much for those that are participating in that. Okay guys, let's talk about some of my favorite ways to fish a lizard. Now obviously my favorite way to fish it is just the standard Texas rigging it. Now probably my favorite way to fish a lizard of all time is to fish either the 6 or 8 inch Zoom lizard here with a 3/16 ounce slip sinker on it. One of the things that I found out about lizard fishing is that the lizards work best with the 3/16 ounce because the tails on the side and the bottom here, they slow the fall of the lizard a little bit. And when you put a 3/16 on it, it seems like that's just the perfect fall rate when you're pitching and flipping and casting that lizard around shallow cover. And that's when it does work the best. Don't get locked in to think that a lizard is like just a springtime bait, because it works all year long. And I have experimented with a lot of different weight sizes on there, and I use a 3/16 most all the time. Another reason I use the 3/16 is I don't use a lizard to pitch and flip thick cover with, because the legs, they really get caught up on limbs and little small twigs and stuff like that. So most of the time when I'm pitching and flipping a lizard, it's around more clean targets like lay down trees and stumps and maybe shallow little pockets in grass or around docks or something like that. But a 3/16 will definitely get you more bites on that. Another thing that you can do with a lizard, guys, is you can basically bite it off in half like here, and you can put it on a jig for a swim jig. All the action of the tails, it makes a really nice looking swim jig trailer. It has a lot of action to it. But the thing that I really want to talk about today, where a lot of people don't fish a lizard, is a spinnerbait trailer. Now, there used to be a lot of you guys that are bass fishing fanatics. You may remember an angler named Jeff McGee. Jeff was from either Louisiana or Mississippi, and back in the 90s, he was, he was one of the best anglers on the tour out there. In fact, he won Bassmaster Megabucks tournament one year, and he was famous for fishing a lizard on a spinnerbait. That's how he qualified for that top 10 in that Megabucks he won, was with the spinnerbait on a lizard. So one of my favorite ways to do, guys, is I basically cut it off in half on this 8 inch lizard, and then I just thread it on as a spinnerbait trailer. And usually I'm using this crazy combination, like a black lizard on a chartreuse skirt, something really bright like that. But guys, a lizard is a great spinnerbait trailer. It gives it a tremendous amount of action out there. A lot of people use like a curly tail worm as a trailer on a spinnerbait. But guys, try your lizard on there, man. The lizard looks really good on a spinnerbait. And also, I've experimented with it a little bit on a chatterbait, but I haven't had that much success, but I have talked to guys that have had that. Also, guys, you can't beat a lizard for Carolina rigging. Probably the most famous Carolina rig bait is like green pumpkin lizard on a Carolina rig. Works really good. And finally, probably another one of my favorite ways to catch them on a lizard is I'll throw a lizard a lot of times in the springtime with no hook, with no weight at all on it, just the hook on it, just like an EWG hook. And I'll throw it out there in shallow water, and I'll just sort of twitch it along the surface, and it barely sinks like that, but you can keep it up almost on the surface. And when those fish are in real shallow, clear water, like in the spring when the water's in the 60s, I've caught a lot of fish fishing a lizard with no weight on it. So anyway, guys, try some stuff on it beyond just the traditional Texas rig. A lot of it is just up to your imagination. But the main thing I wanted to stress for you guys in this video here is use them all year long, man. Don't think that they are just for the spring, because they're not. I'll put my Zoom lizard link in the description of this video if you guys want to get some and try them. But it's sort of like a bait that doesn't get fished as much anymore. I mean, lizards have a loyal following amongst the people that know about them, but a lot of the new anglers out there, they've gotten locked into like the newer creature baits and stuff like that, and you don't see them fishing lizards as much. So anyway, I hope it helps you guys catch a few, and we'll talk later.